Good evening. I welcome everybody gathered here for the 4th MEENAKSHI Raghavan Nambiar Trust Award function. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Tara, Amama's greatest great-grandchild, oldest great-grandchild. We are privileged to have as our chief guest today, Honorable Mr. Justice Betchu Kurian Thomas, who is the judge of the High Court of Kerala. Sir, we request you to kindly grace the dais. I also request Mrs. Sabita Srikumaran and Mr. R. Basant, the patrons of the trust, Mr. R. Jeswant, the chairperson, Mr. Ragen Basant, the managing trustee, to come to the dais. To initiate today's program with an invocation of the Almighty, I invite Ms. Nidhi Uday.
Nanmarupiyaya devame Ninakku vandanam Sneharupiyaya devame Ninakku vandanam Buddhiyum vishuddhiyum svabhava shuddhiyum bhava Bhaktiyum vivegavum tarena me dayanide Buddhiyum vishuddhiyum svabhava shuddhiyum bhava Bhaktiyum vivegavum tarena me dayanide Nanmarupiyaya devame Ninakku vandanam Sneharupiyaya devame Ninakku vandanam. Thank you.
This year, as we mark MEENAKSHI Raghavan Nambiar's 100th year, we're not just remembering a milestone, we're honoring a life that shaped so many others. The MEENAKSHI Raghavan Nambiar Trust is our family's way of continuing Mrs. M.R. Nambiar, my Amama's legacy. It is our promise to her that we will keep nurturing young minds with the same care she did. Amama wasn't just a teacher, she was a force. Someone who believed in the power of education, who saw potential where others didn't, and who changed lives with her encouragement, discipline, and love. Through this trust, we hope to keep her spirit alive and carry forward the values she lived by. I request Mr. Uday Srikumar, trustee, to deliver the welcome address.
Unusually high. Good evening, everyone. Lovely to see you all here. It's my pleasure to welcome you all this evening to the 4th annual award function of the MEENAKSHI Raghavan Nambiar Trust. As you all know, this event marks the birth centenary year of my late Amama, Mrs. M.R. Nambiar, and also is in memory of my grandfather, the late Mr. Raghavan Nambiar. I'm very sure that if Amama was alive and in our midst today as a centenarian, she would have been so overjoyed to see all of you here. And you all so kindly supporting the trust and what it seeks to achieve. Your presence here today means a lot to the family and the trustees. And we'd like to express a sincere thanks and also welcome each and every one of you to this event. We are honored to have with us today, or this evening, Justice Betchu Kurian Thomas, who is a respected judge in the High Court of Kerala. Thank you, sir, for taking the time out from your busy schedule to be here. Please give him a round of applause. Ammamma's great-grandson, Nikhil Basant, will now present you with the bouquet as a token of appreciation. Thank you, sir, for your valuable presence. Thanks. I'd also like to welcome all the parents and students who will be felicitated today, along with the teachers and principals of their respective schools. Your being here gives this event its true meaning and purpose. I'd also like to express my gratitude and greetings to all our family members, friends, and well-wishers of Ammamma who've come from far and wide to make it for this occasion. I know that your presence in Ammamma's life made her a happier human being. Thank you so much and welcome. Ammamma was a person with a high sense of integrity and moral values, and she never compromised on her ethics and ideals. She absolutely loved teaching and doing her best in the field of education with sincerity and dedication. These are some of the values that this trust seeks to imbibe in the teachers and students of today. And it is to encourage these qualities that we are felicitating some of the individuals from the schools that Ammamma was closely associated with. I welcome all of you again, and I thank you for being here today and supporting our family in this journey. I trust you will enjoy this evening with us, and I do hope that all of us can take back some learning which can help us be more wiser and more loving as human beings. Ammamma, I'm certain, would have valued that. Have a wonderful evening, all of you, and thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Uday Uncle, for that welcome. I would now like to call upon Mr. Raghavanan Basant, Managing Trustee, to give us a report of the activities of the Trust.
Honorable Mr. Justice Bechu Kurian Thomas, friends, well-wishers, and family of Mrs. M.R. Nambiar, ladies and gentlemen. I stand before you, like this crowd mainly is a family affair. I stand before you as the Managing Trustee of the MEENAKSHI RAGHAVAN NAMBIAR Trust. By now, all of you know what this trust is about and what we've been doing, so I won't repeat the objectives of the trust. Before I get into the activities of the trust, Uday, my cousin, has already spoken about Justice Bechu Kurian Thomas. I would like to share a couple of our association with Justice Bechu Kurian Thomas. As in, our family has been associated with Justice, for the father of Justice Bechu Kurian Thomas. Justice K.T. Thomas is a name which I've heard in my house from the time I was born. My father today is a judge thanks to the inspiration of just the tenure of Mr. K.T. Thomas as district judge in Calicut. So I've heard my father telling many people that if not for Justice K.T. Thomas, he would never have accepted judgeship. So I think when I was a kid, I was not very happy with it. Now I'm happy with that inspiration. Now, for me, this is my father. I had an opportunity to be an intern with Justice K.T. Thomas when he was a judge of the Supreme Court of India. And my desire to be, it was a pure desire at that time, what I thought was an unattainable desire, to be a lawyer in the practicing in the Supreme Court. It was Justice K.T. Thomas who first told me that one day I'm sure that you will come here and practice here. So now after many years, when to stand before you as actually a lawyer practicing before the Supreme Court of India, I first owe it to Justice K.T. Thomas. Now, Justice Bechu Kurian Thomas, this many of you may not know, even Justice Bechu Kurian Thomas may have forgotten. When I finished my law, I wanted to come back. I worked in Bombay for 2 years. Then I wanted to come back and practice in Kerala High Court in Cochin. And I resigned my job, and that time my father was a sitting judge of the Kerala High Court. So he told me, you find your senior, I'm a judge, there are limitations, I can't speak to anybody, etc. So I, on my own initiative, asked around, and I went and met Justice Bechu Kurian Thomas, and he had agreed to make me his chamber junior, and I was all set to join. But at that time, my father said he will take a transfer from Kerala if I practice here. So then I had to give up my, to be a junior to Justice Bechu Kurian Thomas, and I had to shift to Delhi. So I took a transfer to Delhi. Then Now, regarding the trust, the purpose of the trust for us as a family has been the philosophy of our mama. Nobody should be denied education because of lack of resources. Plus, encourage good teachers, good students. This has been a philosophy all through. Now, for us, the activities of the trust, I must tell you, we started in 2022. This trust was set up by the 3 children of Mrs. M.R. Nambiar, my father, my father's sister, and my father's brother. And our generation, they were very clear that they will set up the trust, but the running of the trust has to be by us, me, my cousins. All the trustees are my cousins, my wife, my mother. And so we, as of 2022, we started with 6 scholarships. In 2023, we increased it to 12. In 2024, we increased it to 15. This year, I'm happy to announce that being the centenary year of Mrs. M.R. Nambiar, the trust took a decision that we will double the number of scholarships. So from 15, from this year, we are going to give scholarships to 30 students for starting this academic year. So as of today, we are proposing to give scholarships to 30 students, an amount of rupees 5,000 per month. Plus, we are giving a best outgoing student award from 4 schools where my grandmother taught or has been a principal. And this year, being the centenary year, normally we give 1 outstanding teacher award. But being the centenary year, from my grandmother's favorite school, Chinmaya Vidyalaya, we have decided to honor 2 teachers with the best teacher award. So, our budget for the trust for this year has been increased from 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs a year. And I must state that this trust is supported by contributions from only within the family, the Amama's the family. So we don't, as of now, we don't take any contribution from anybody else. This is our family's way of honoring Amama's legacy without taking any outside support. Now, for most of you here know my grandmother. My grandmother was the glue of the family. As in anything, for this award function, everything. Now we have Amama's sister, son who's come from US. Nishil, he's here, he's there. They've come from US. Now this is not because of us. This is because of their love for an Amama. And that is what she is. So this annual trust award function is a way for the family to get together and honor our legacy. And above everything else, she would be happy seeing how the family is maintaining that close-knit nature, even when she's watching from above. Now, with the trust, it's not only about giving scholarships. We keep regular track of the progress of these students. In fact, all of you who know my mother know, as in her way with people is far superior to any one of us. So she is the one who interacts with all these students on a regular basis, keeps track of their education, keeps track of their marks, and that it is not only a one-time scholarship, we keep regular updates of these students. The other philosophy of the trust, we all say, I keep telling my children that, we all say we are very meritorious, we are very smart. All of us realize or must realize that merit is a very, very superfluous. It's all a functionality of opportunity or where you are born, everything. So we are very clear that we are very fully aware that if we think we are smart, there are thousands of smart people outside who, if given the opportunity, will be much smarter than any one of us. So the purpose of this trust is to ensure that nobody, or as far as possible for us, no student gets denied education for lack of resources. Then the question arises, why such a function? We can do it even without having such a function. That's a debate which every year we have as a trust as to should we have a function? Why can't we just call those students? This is our way of telling ourselves that we will continue this legacy. Come what may, now it is me. Now after some time my children should take over. We have the latest great-granddaughter Lodi, who the only granddaughter Mama is watching from there, not from here. So she who hasn't interacted with Amama, she should also see this and be inspired by it. And this legacy should continue, irrespective of who is the patron, who is the managing trustee, etc. So this is mainly a message to ourselves, and all your presence encourages us. Now, many times when I see that the hall is full, it gladdens us that all of you have taken time out and come because only and only because of your love for my grandmother. With these words, I thank you all, and I promise that the trust will strive itself to continue the way it has been functioning, and to our best of our ability, we will continue to support whichever way we can. Thank you.
Thank you, Atta. I now invite Mr. R. Basant, patron of the Trust, to address the gathering.
Respected Chief Guest, Justice Bechu Kurian Thomas, ladies and gentlemen. MEENAKSHI Raghavan Nambiar Trust. The trust is founded by my sister Sabita Srikumaran, my brother R. Jaswant, and myself, to perpetuate the memory of my late father Raghavan Nambiar and my late mother MEENAKSHI Raghavan Nambiar. As a founder of the trust, I should call myself a co-founder of the trust, and the patron of the trust, it gives me immense pleasure to be before you today, as I have done for the last 3 occasions. The managing trustee, my son, tells me, don't repeat all what you have said previous occasions. There's a writ by him that I should not do that. But I believe, I must tell you, as he has already done, this is our method of perpetuating the memory of our parents by doing what they would have done or doing what they would have been very happy to see us do. Well, that's it all about. We are doing all this only because we want to perpetuate the memory of my parents by doing things which would have gladdened them. I want them to be remembered by such functions, such activities of the trust, and I'm very happy that we have been doing it for the last 4 years. The managing trustee, my son Raken, has already told you how we have grown. We have grown considerably. I'm proud of it. Not, beating our own trumpet, but it's a fact that we have increased our performance many times. 10 lakhs was the last year's the budget, and this year they have gone up to 20 lakhs. Indeed, it makes me proud. It makes me very satisfied to see that done. The senior founders of the family said, juniors will take care of it. And I must say that I'm very, very happy to express before you and acknowledge that we are immensely pleased with the way that the trust has been functioning. Thank you, trustees. Congratulations to you that you have done it so well. We expect you to continue to do that in the years to come. Trustees, that I've said, he has already said that, we have decided that the charity begins at home, and the trust will find resources from within the legal descendants of my parents. And therefore at the moment, we have no idea of going to the public for any collection, but it's the trustees, the trust members, the family, which is raising the funds for the trust, and I'm very happy to acknowledge that they have done it. I have one more particular reason to congratulate the trustees, and that is for the chief guest that they have chosen for this meeting. This is a centenary year of my mother, and I'm very happy that they have got a chief guest appropriate to the occasion. Justice Bechu Kurian Thomas' father was an inspiration for us. I don't know, even that inspiration is a very small word for what he has been. I think until Justice Thomas, District Judge K.T. Thomas, as he then was, came to the Calicut courts, for many of us, who counted ourselves to be good in the profession, becoming a judge was not an option at all. Perhaps that was the last option that many of us had. By the sheer strength of his personality, by the sheer ability to inspire people, and I've always called it his romantic idealism, his romantic passion to do justice, he had planted the seed of ambition in the minds of many of us to become judge. If I have become a judge, I think I owe entirely to Justice Thomas for the, not by saying anything, but the manner in which he conducted himself, the manner in which he approached his work, the sublimity with which he did everything that he did, and that was perhaps an inspiration for us. You must be thinking, the chief guest is the son, why are you talking so much about the father? Right? I can understand that. I knew, I should have said, I have seen the chief guest today as a toddler, holding the hands of his father and walking along the court premises. From that day, the expression of the boy has been very, very, shall I say, very encouraging, enthusing, and I always thought that this boy has a great future for him. Time has proved itself, and then I'm very happy to see that he came out as a very outstanding lawyer. I remember when I was a judge of the High Court, I used to depend on him as amicus in many matters. The amount of work that he did, the inspired work that he did, the exhaustive work that he did tell me that this person is going to go high up in the ladder, in the hierarchy. I'm very happy that he is there today as a judge of the Kerala High Court. As a small child, I remember, I don't know where, it's just my memory, somebody said that a young person should have aspirations. And I remember only two of them now. One said, Ammekku kodukkaruthu, right? Ammekku kodukkaruthu. I was surprised, what is this great teaching which says, Ammekku kodukkaruthu? So they say, then he explained, the speaker explained and told us that whatever is yours is your mother's. So you don't have to give her, right? It is hers, and therefore you don't have to give her. So, Ammekku kodukkaruthu, right? The first thing that he said. Second one that he said was, Achane kollanam, right? I was very, very flabbergasted by this. But what he meant by that is, you must outdo your father. It's not enough you try to be like your father, you must outdo your father. That is why it is said that you must kill your father. It doesn't mean don't go and cut him. That's not what it said. You must outdo your father, and thereby what he has done should look small compared to what you are doing. Well, it's a wonderful, wonderful idea that was there, and I used it now today because I want Justice Bechu Kurian Thomas to outdo his father. And I'm sure he will do it. I know it's very difficult for him. My son, my grandchildren will all find it very easy to outdo their father or grandfather. It's not very difficult. But to outdo Justice Thomas is going to be very, very difficult. Every parent, every grandparent has always one desire. And I think today at this age and stage of my life, I can really realize that. I want my son, I want my children, I want my grandchildren to outdo myself. At this age, the pleasure lies in seeing that. My children and my grandchildren outdoing me is the pleasure that I can get. I wish Justice Bechu Kurian Thomas will give that pleasure to his great father. The worthy son of a worthy father. I want him to outdo his father. I hope he'll do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Atita. We are honored to have as our chief guest today, Honorable Mr. Justice Bechu Kurian Thomas. Our association, as Achita said, with Sir goes back a generation, as his father, Justice K.T. Thomas, retired judge of the Supreme Court of India, was the person who inspired our patron, my grandfather, to become a judge, and to this day remains his mentor and guide. Justice Betru Kurian Thomas happened to spend a few of his early school years in Calicut when his father was posted as a district and sessions judge here. He was designated as a senior advocate by the High Court of Kerala in 2015. True to the lofty traditions of the noble profession of law, he gave up a lucrative private practice and answered the call of duty to take up judgeship in 2020. He has made a mark as a judge of the High Court and is expected to scale great heights. Sir, we are immensely grateful that you took the effort to travel to Calicut and could grace this occasion with your presence. We kindly request you to address the gathering.
Members of the MEENAKSHI Raghavan Nambiar Memorial Trust, the distinguished gathering in front of me, the achievers, students and teachers, friends and family, and all in front of me. Good evening to all of you. എൻ്റെ മനസ്സിലോട്ട് ആദ്യം ഓടി വരുന്നത് ഒരു കഥയാണ് ഞാൻ പണ്ട് വായിച്ചതും കേട്ടിട്ടുള്ളതും. ഒരു വള്ളക്കാരനുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. എപ്പോഴും കരയിലോട്ട് വള്ളം അടുപ്പിക്കുമ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ഒരു പ്രത്യേക സ്വഭാവം ആങ്കിൾ ഡീപ്പ് വെള്ളത്തിൽ കൊണ്ട് വള്ളം നിർത്തുള്ളൂ. എല്ലാവരും അദ്ദേഹത്തെ ശപിച്ചുകൊണ്ടും പഴി പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടുമാണ് ഇറങ്ങുന്നത്. അങ്ങേർക്ക് എൻ്റെ ആ കരയോട് അങ്ങ് അടുപ്പിക്കാൻ വയ്യ, എന്തിനാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ കാലും ചെരുപ്പും നനയ്ക്കുന്നതെന്ന്. അദ്ദേഹം മരിച്ചുപോയി പെട്ടെന്ന്. മരിക്കുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് മകൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് പറഞ്ഞു, മകനെ, എൻ്റെ പേര് നീ നശിപ്പിക്കരുത് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. ആ വാക്കുകൾ എന്നും മകൻ്റെ മനസ്സിലുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. മകൻ പിറ്റേ ആഴ്ച തൊട്ട് വള്ളത്തിൽ കയറി വള്ളം തുഴയാൻ തുടങ്ങി. മകൻ എന്ത് ചെയ്തെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അപ്പൻ്റെ പേര് പോകാതിരിക്കുവാനായിട്ട് മുട്ടറ്റം വെള്ളത്തിൽ കൊണ്ടുപോയി നിർത്താൻ തുടങ്ങി. അപ്പോൾ എല്ലാവരും പറഞ്ഞു, ഓ, അപ്പൻ എന്തോ ഒരു നല്ലവനായിരുന്നു, ഇത്രയും നല്ലൊരു അപ്പൻ എങ്ങനെ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു മകനുണ്ടായി. Justice Basant has kept a very difficult proposition for me. Yet, I've always loved to take challenges from my younger days. Though it is a very difficult proposition, a very difficult challenge, I shall still try. When Justice Basant said, my father was his role model, I have to accept and concede that Justice Basant was my role model. I have never had an opportunity to address or to witness my father as a judge, but had numerous occasions when I could address Justice Basant. I could sit and watch his performance as a judge, how he conducted his court. Even today, whenever I feel doubt in the manner in which I conduct my court proceedings, I think about how would have Justice Basant handled this matter. When somebody wanted to come and visit the High Court proceedings, we always used to take him to Justice Basant's court. Such stoic presence he had in court, such commanding presence he had. It was a treat to watch. And those of you who have not seen him perform as a judge, I will say it is a sheer miss. Such was the manner in which he conducted it. It instilled in us, youngsters of the profession, an inkling to accept judgeship if offered. So it is just a continuance of what he said earlier. My father was a role model. He is my role model. Even the way he used to speak. I've invited him for few functions. The manner in which he used to, his oratorical skills was amazing. Jokes apart, I'm extremely delighted to be present here today for more reasons than one. Calicut has always been a very, very interesting place for me. Breathing the air of Calicut itself brings in nostalgia and a very refreshing feeling for me. The next reason is the objective of this function to provide scholarship for 30 students. I remember 34 years back in my student days, I initiated a program little similar to this with an acronym called FEES, which stood for Fund for Educating Eligible Students. We selected 30 students through the AEO, identified 30 eligible students of Ernakulam district who were in need of funds, financial need, and yet eligible, meritorious, selected by the AEO. And I'm happy to note that one voluntary organization has taken up this program and is continuing it even now under the same acronym as FEES. The third and most important reason is why we have all gathered here, to relive the memories of a great soul, Mrs. MEENAKSHI Raghavan Nambiar, whose son has been a role model as a judge for me. I have never known Mrs. Nambiar personally, and I do not remember of having met her as well. But I know her as a mother of an illustrious son. Now I know her as a mother of 3 illustrious children and great-grandchildren. The name of Mrs. Nambiar used to crop up in our discussions at home during over the dinner whenever the topic revolved around Justice Basant. The devotion of Justice Basant to his mother is well known, and as a person occupying the same post now which Justice Basant occupied then, I am at awe as to how he managed his work and his abiding devotion to his mother expressed through his weekend trips to Calicut to be with her. It was an exceptional work-life balance which Justice Basant used to manage. This was because of the values Mrs. Nambiar had instilled in her children. The trust that they have started, as Ragen said, is not just intended to cater to the needs of the society, but it is a manifestation of the values for which she lived for. That is what I could understand from the little article that had been sent, the note that had been sent to me. As an assistant educational officer for long, Mrs. Nambiar had rendered dedicated service to the state education department. She was known as a multifaceted personality with admirable administrative and teaching skills. She always pursued excellence in all the spheres of her life. To function as a principal of a school, even as an octogenarian or a nonagenarian, is beyond the comprehension of most of us. When we, the lesser mortals, think of retiring at the age of 60, her work, even at the age of 90 or 95, is an eye-opener for all of us. The National Award for Teachers, conferred by none other than the President of India, is a standing testimony for the dedication and integrity with which she went about her life as a teacher and the phenomenal commitment that she had. She is known to have instilled in her own children, as well as her students, the values of integrity, discipline, and commitment. Today morning, while I was traveling to Calicut, I met one of her former students by chance, an old student from the NSS high school. He told me that she used to come in an auto rickshaw every day called Sheetal, and that she was a strict disciplinarian, and yet she had the ability to instill in every student of hers a belief in the self. She had the ability to instill in every student a belief in herself, in the self. Mrs. Nambiar made an impact on every student that came across her. Now, before I proceed further, let me congratulate the meritorious. Congratulations to the best outgoing students who are being recognized today. Wish you all the very best in your life. Please remember that mere personal academic excellence is not sufficient. These awards that you are going to get today are not only intended to be recognitions, but are also intended to avoid you from becoming complacent in your life, as recognitions and awards can make a person complacent. And this is also intended to enable you to impart your spirit of excellence to others. Congratulations also to the outstanding teachers who are going to be recognized today. I have always had a fascination to teachers. My maternal grandfather was a teacher and a principal of various schools and colleges. My mother was a teacher and later turned into a homemaker. My mother's sister was a principal of a school in Chennai. My mother's sister's daughter was a principal of a medical college. My brother and my sister-in-law are both senior professors in a medical college. Not to be left behind, I too made an attempt at teaching. It was only then I realized that it's a different ball altogether. I was astonished by the kind of hard work and commitment that was required, and soon I had to withdraw from my attempt, because teaching requires 100% dedication and commitment. On this occasion, when we come to celebrate the life of a renowned teacher, it is essential that we reflect upon the values that she lived for and rekindle the spirit of at least some of them. As I mentioned earlier, the person I met today morning said Mrs. Nambiar had the ability to make every student believe in the self. Teachers can make a profound impact on our life. And most often, towards the latter half of our career, we look upon them as our heroes. When the world of reality has its limits, the world of imagination is boundless. And teachers are the ones who nurture, shape, and guide our imaginations when we are young. Every child is gifted. This is what we have learned. Every child is gifted. But many do not unwrap the gift. It is the ability of the teachers to unfold that wrapper and to find the hidden gift in each one. The ability of a good teacher is to help the child to unwrap those gifts, which may happen at different times for different persons. The mode in which a teacher helps a student to unfold his hidden gift is by helping him to believe in himself. This was what Mrs. Nambiar was doing. Make the student believe in himself. Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon in the world, which we can use to change the world itself. While he lived in the prison for 21 years for doing nothing wrong, except to express his ideology and philosophy, he used to read every day the words of poet William Ernest Henley, "I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." Remember, as long as we are the masters of our soul, masters of our fate, and captain of our soul, and we believe in ourselves, boundless is the limit of our imaginations, notwithstanding the limits of the reality. As Abdul Kalam Azad said, dream, dream, dream. Dreams transform into thoughts, and thoughts result in action. What a great teacher can instill in a person is a belief in self. And as students, when you start believing in yourself, you can start dreaming, which in turn will change what happens around us. I do not know how many of you would have heard of Sean Stephenson. It is an exceptional, it is worth reading the story of Sean Stevenson. He was afflicted with a rare disease called osteogenesis imperfecta. The doctors may know it as brittle bone disease. If you get a chance to Google it, please do that. At the age of 40, Sean Stevenson was only 3 feet tall, with fragile bones and confined to a wheelchair. By the age of 18, he had undergone 200 surgeries. His parents were told on the day of his birth that their son will not live more than 24 hours. He lived till the age of 40 and died in 2019. He was a motivational speaker. At the age of 35, he said in one of his speeches that none of those doctors who told his parents that he will live only for 24 hours are alive, while he, after 35 years, was still alive. In one of his inspiring lectures, he said, "Never be in the prison of your mind. Never be in the prison of your mind. Never believe a prediction that does not empower you." As you move forward in your life, as students, youngsters, many predictions will be thrown at you. If you start believing those predictions, you will wither away, either physically or your spirit will die as you just walk around like a carcass. But if you believe in yourself, these predictions that do not empower you will have no effect. And you will be able to choose a life of strength and belief. Let not what people say to you decide what you say to yourself, unless those words empower you. Let not what people say to you decide what you say to yourself, unless those words empower you. One of the famous quotes of Sean Stevenson was, "If you have a heartbeat, there's still time for your dreams." If you have a heartbeat, there's still a time for your dreams. At the age of 95, Mrs. Nambiar was a principal of a school. If you have a heartbeat, there's still time for your dreams. I just want to, before concluding, just want to tell you two things, since I'm in Calicut. In 2018, I came to attend a funeral in Calicut. I met one of my old school teachers, Paul Kallanod. He was a painter. He was teaching in our school. He asked me whether I want to meet my old school principal. I said certainly yes. It was Father Anthrepar. He was a principal, headmaster of St. Joseph's Boys High School when I was studying there. We went and met him. Father remembered because he said, "I'm so-and-so's son." And after casual conversations, he said, "Oru brother illarunno, oru Orappan. അദ്ദേഹം ഇപ്പം എവിടെയാണ്?" ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു, "അച്ഛൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്ന ആ ഉഴപ്പൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഞാനായിരുന്നു." That time I was a senior advocate. Why I said this is because എന്നെ ഉഴപ്പനാണ് എന്ന് മനസ്സിലാക്കിയ അച്ഛൻ, എൻ്റെ ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് ഒരിക്കലും നെവർ കൺവേ ടു മീ ഞാൻ ഉഴപ്പനായിരുന്നു എന്ന്. They always instill in me a belief about myself. If that ഉഴപ്പൻ 8ാം ക്ലാസ് വരെ ഏറ്റവും ഉഴപ്പായിട്ട് നടന്ന ആൾക്ക് could transform, it is self-belief is what is required for a student to transform oneself. I also, while coming from the guest house till here, I was reading a book into a chapter I was reading. I came across one passage. It's about a Japanese monk. This monk, what he did was, he's supposed to clean every day morning the garden of that monastery. In Japan, everything is so perfect. But this monk used to do a very curious thing. After clearing the garden of all the leaves, he'll keep back one leaf on the ground. The reason he said was, the beauty of the world lies in imperfection. Nothing is perfect in the world. You can never find anything perfect. The beauty lies in imperfection. The magic of imperfection is what should be understood by everyone. The problem that we face nowadays is through the social media, we find everyone having a perfect life. Everything is so perfect. Children are getting perplexed. I am not perfect. Would I have a proper life? The other person is having a perfect life. I am not having it. They fall into all sort of troubles. Remember, you are perfect the way you are in your imperfection. The magic of life lies in not in symmetry, but in imperfection and in the naturalness. Your naturalness is what creates the magic around you. I cannot be the way Justice Basant is. I cannot be the way Justice Katie Thomas was. I can only be the way I am. Similarly, each one of you, there is a gift in you. Please unwrap it. Each one of you, within the imperfection you have, there is a magic in it. Identify that and grow forward. Mrs. Nambiar made every student of hers to believe in himself or herself. She was able to unwrap the gift in every student of hers. And above all, until her last heartbeat, she continued to dream. This event is no doubt the result of her dreams. Let each one of us cherish the fond memories of Mrs. MEENAKSHI Raghavan Nambiar. I congratulate her children, her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren for the exceptional feat that they are doing. Let the spirit and memories of Mrs. MEENAKSHI Raghavan Nambiar continue to live forever. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We now come to the presentation of awards for this year. We request our Honorable Chief Guest to kindly present the awards for the outstanding teachers and best outgoing students for the year 2024 to 25. As mentioned by our Managing Trustee, being the centenary year, we are felicitating 2 teachers from Amama's favorite Chinmaya School with the Best Teachers Awards, which carry a cash award of 50,000 rupees each. The first Outstanding Teacher Award goes to Bindu C. She has been teaching social science in Chinmaya Vidyalaya for the past nearly 30 years, from 1996. She has worked closely with Amama and says that Amama's dignity and way of dealing with people influenced her greatly. A sentence that Amama used to say often still resonates with ma'am. What you do is not as important as the way in which you do it. Though she is slated to retire in 2026, following Amama's path, she plans to have an active retirement, continuing her activities in Calicut itself and perhaps in Dubai where her daughter stays. We wish her all the best. Ma'am, I request you to come on stage and collect the award. The second Outstanding Teacher Award goes to Jyoti Lakshmi PN of Chinmaya Vidyalaya. The careers of both our outstanding teachers run in parallels, as Jyoti Lakshmi ma'am, like Bindu ma'am, also joined Chinmaya School in 1996 and has continued there for the past 30 years. She also has been greatly influenced by Amama and recalls how from writing the name of children on the registers to observing each and every action of every child in her class, outside and in school, Amama was meticulous about every single detail. She also recalls the deep connection and love that Amama had with every person in school. Jyoti ma'am has been a very dedicated and hardworking teacher, and we wish her all the best in her future endeavors as she also retires this year. Ma'am, I request you to come on stage and collect the award. Next, we will be presenting the Best Outgoing Students Awards. These students have been selected by the respective schools for their performance as all A+ students, coupled with excellence in extracurricular activities. This award is accompanied by a cash prize of 25,000 rupees. The first award goes to Vaigha T from Chinmaya Vidyalaya, Kozhikode. The next award goes to Sri Hari PV from NSS Higher Secondary School, Kozhikode. Our third award goes to Devalida S from Government Ganpat Model Girls Higher Secondary School. And the final Outgoing Student Award goes to Amina Heba PN from Government Model Higher Secondary School, Kozhikode. Thank you very much, sir. I now call upon Nidhi Uday and Nikhil Basant, Amama's great-grandchildren, to announce the names of the scholarship awardees.
Good evening, everyone.
I am Nidhi Uday.
And I am Nikhil Basant. And we are very excited to be here to announce the names of the scholarship awardees of the MEENAKSHI Raghavan Nambiar Trust for the year 2025 to 26.
We call upon our patron, Mr. R. Basant, my Bacha Mama, to present the first set of scholarships for students from Government UP School, West Hill, Kozhikode.
We start with Adish P.K. from Class 4.
Next, we have Kashinath T.P. from Class 6.
Now we have Alan B from class 6. Adish, Kashinath and Alan were continued from the previous academic year. Now we have 5 students from Government UP School, West Hill, who have been added as scholarship students from this year. First, we have Mohammad Ishan P from 1st standard.
Next, we have Shruti Karthikeyan from class 2.
Now we have Ashwati V from class 3.
Next, we have Anantu Krishna TP from class 5.
Now we have Ameya Subhash from class 5. Thank you, Achacha.
Now we call upon R. Jaswant, the chairperson of the trust, to give away the second set of scholarships for students from Government Model Higher Secondary School, Kozhikode.
First, we have Muhammad Midlaj AP from class 12.
Next, we have Adi PM from class 11.
Now we have Nihal NP from class 10. Midlaj, Adi and Nihal are being continued from last year. And we have 5 new students from Government Model Higher Secondary School, Kozhikode, getting the scholarships this year. First, we have Navatej CK from class 10.
Next, we have Vaiga Shiv Chaitanya from class 9.
Now we have Prarthana M from class 9.
Next, we have Hisham PM from class 8.
Now we have Muhammad Shafiq P from class 8. Thank you, Achumama.
For the next set of awards, we call upon our trustee, Mrs. Sushila Basant.
Government Ganpat Model Girls Higher Secondary School, Kozhikode, has been for the first time added in this centenary year as a school from which the trust is selecting scholarship students. First, we have Sri Lakshmi M from class 11.
Next, we have Ananya C from class 12.
Now we have Avantika C from class 8.
Next, we have Hannah Mariam P from class 8.
Now we have Teja Lakshmi PM from class 12.
Next, we have Gia P from class 12.
Now we have Anunanda K from class 12.
Next, we have Aisha Marwa CT from class 12.
Thank you, Achama. We now request our Mama's only granddaughter, Bianca Jeswant, to present the awards to students selected by the Trust. The families of these children have been connected with our Mama, and this was one way for us to show our gratitude and continue the connection.
First, we have Manikandan G. Manikandan could not make it today, so his award will be collected by his mother.
Now we have Santish SK.
Next, we have Archana TP.
Now we have Ranjani Vel Murugan.
Next, we have Nia Prasad.
And we end the awards with Ilam Pariti M.
Thank you, everyone.
And congratulations to all the students and teachers.
We now come to the concluding part of our function. I request Mrs. Savita Srikumaran, patron, to present a memento to our honorable chief guest as a token of our gratitude. To conclude the function, I request Mr. Bishan Jeswant, trustee, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. It is both an honor and a privilege to deliver the vote of thanks today at the 4th annual award function of the MEENAKSHI Rambiar Memorial Trust. First of all, on behalf of the trustees and the patrons, I would like to thank Justice Betchukurian Joseph. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time and your words. There were many messages today, but I think the one that will remain with people the most is the fact that if you have a heartbeat, you can still dream. Thank you. I don't need to go through the formality of thanking family and friends, but I think I would be remiss in my duties if I didn't, because a lot of people have taken the trouble to be here. Thank you so much to everyone from the family and friends at Gandhinagar Colony, as well as people who've traveled from other cities and from other parts of the world. Thank you so much for being here. We've had the privilege today of being able to recognize meritorious teachers and students, and thank you so much to the principal, teachers, students, everyone for your commitment to learning and teaching and taking forward the vision of my grandmother, Mrs. M.R. Nambiar. Thank you so much. There are a lot of members of the media here. Thank you so much for being here and taking the message outside this room and being able to recognize and continue forward the legacy of my grandmother. Thank you. I would also especially like to recognize Cletus and his team who have been with us now for 4 years, helping with videography, photography, live streaming this event, and helping people who can't be in the room view and enjoy this event. Thank you so much to Cletus and the team. I would also like to thank, and I would not be complete if I didn't do this, Alagapuri as a venue for the last 4 years for hosting this event, as well as Federal Bank, who have been our banking partners to this event. Of course, goes without saying it wouldn't be possible without their help. Thank you to both Federal Bank as well as Alagapuri. Thank you so much. I think with that, we come to the end, and I think the parting message probably here is that as we commemorate Amamma's 100th birth centenary, that people may leave us, but their thoughts, visions, celebrations will remain and continue with us forever. And maybe there may be some instances where dreams are carried forward even without a heartbeat. Thank you so much.
That marks the end of today's function. We thank everyone for being a part of this special occasion and for making it memorable. Thank you.